Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Hi, I'm Bob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
Yes, gang. Welcome back to another Omni X-Men. Sad morning for Storm fans after March Madness tragedy, but we're here to celebrate a great comic book. This is Omni X-Men, the show we go Claremont book by Claremont book through this incredible, iconic era of comic books. And we are currently on season 6, gang. Season 6, the 5th omnibus of Uncanny X-Men. And we're talking about issue 207 today. And by me, I mean me and this guy.
I found it. I found the issue. I had it here. And look at the deal. Look at the steal.
Man.
$2.
That's almost the issue number of the book.
Am I? Yeah. Seriously. Zap, good old Zap.
Oh my gosh. That is a steal.
Dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I was, as you know, just scrambling back and forth here as we were about to go live because I was like, I have this issue. I had it somewhere nearby and I found it. So
I didn't even bother to pull mine out. Although most of my issues I think I sent to our guest. So I don't think I have a copy of the book anymore. I think he might have all of them. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I'll tell you, as we just talked about, Storm did as good as I think she could be. It was great to see all the community members come through for that. It was a lot of fun, John. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And we kind of knew that, we were like, all right, if we can get her to this round, great.
Yeah. It was a tough Final Four draw. Let's be fair. She had tough matchups almost every round.
every round. And she was the last Marvel girl standing.
She was.
Marvel,
Queen of Marvel.
Character.
Yep,
So,
for sure.
So I'll take that. And shout out to Lasso. Congratulations, Wonder Woman.
Well, hopefully she does well today, and we get rid of these whatever, like indie characters. I don't know
and we can all go back to being friends, right?
Yeah. That's what April Fool's Day is for. But speaking of friends,
go ahead.
We got some links down below for this guy, because this show, if you don't know, goes back and forth on each other's channels, and we'll be back over on his channel for the next issue. So you want to make sure you subscribe to him there and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. But I've also got another gentleman's link down below. The one, the only Mr. Impressed Matt. What's going on, buddy?
Guys, how are you? Justin, I need you to go ahead and put that copy of 207 into the box to send with my Masters of the Universe. Let's send that one on down too, please. Thanks.
I think legally nobody is allowed to own 207 except Matt. I think there's some law I saw passed recently. Am I right on that?
It's something along those lines. Yeah. If I see it, I just take it.
Let's just take a look behind. I'm gonna blow Matt up here for a second. Like, look at that wall over his left shoulder there.
I told John I was going to try to figure out some way to display a bunch of these. I have no idea how many copies of this book that I have, and no, these aren't usually on the wall. It's just for fun.
I love it.
There's a handful that are at CGC being graded now. There's more in the cabinet. It's fun.
That's epic. That is incredible. And for those who don't know, Matt won the X-Men mystery box last season, and I helped add a few more copies to his collection. That unboxing video is linked down below as well.
Yes. Yeah. John is underselling what he actually sent to me. So if you have not watched it, track it down and look at the just craziness that he had in that box that I just couldn't believe when I opened it up.
Love it.
It takes me a little while to build those mystery boxes, but I do admit they're one of the joys I have of doing this show.
It's John's mutant power.
But huge thank you, Matt, for coming and joining us. And Matt is a presser, if you couldn't guess from his name as well. So if you need a presser, you're looking for somebody to press books for you, you can definitely hit him up on Instagram and let him know what you're thinking about. Maybe he's got an open spot, and maybe he can give you some idea of what that would be like.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you'll let me run my mouth for about 2 minutes here,
Go.
This story does tie into Wolverine, so it's technically X-Men approved.
Yeah.
Last year, I became real good friends with Chris over at Cheddar Comics. I became his normal presser, so he would always send everything to me, and we would do everything. Everything went real well. He got a Hulk 181, and he wanted it worked on. He sent it to me. It was in about a 5.0, 5.5, something like that. And when I got done with it, sent it to CGC. He got an 8.0 out of it. He made a good profit out of it, so he was, super thrilled. He also became friends with Todd McFarlane's son, Jake, last year. And so I took it upon myself to just reach out to Jake and say, hey, I'm here. Here's who I am. He responded back, oh, yeah, I know exactly who you are. I saw the Hulk 181. So, yeah, I don't know anything about pressing, but I got some stuff I'd like for you to work on. Well, it turns out he is keeping a bunch of books straight out of Todd's personal collection, building his own. So they wanted to get some stuff sent to me before the CGC signing that Todd did. Long story short, sent me stuff. I fixed stuff, sent it back. He got it graded, all that good stuff. Monday of, what is today? Today's Wednesday. So Monday of last week, Tuesday. I get a package in. I had sent a book that they told me, yeah, you can just send me one. I'll get Todd to sign it for you. That's what Jake told me. So I had one that I gotten from Nate over at Hall, from during Comics Cure Cancer, and I got it signed to me. Nothing special, just Spider-Man 1 silver. But in that same box, John, if you can blow me up, make me big here,
sir.
Throw this thing off. In that same box was a book from Todd that says, "Thanks for working on my books."
Wow,
so that is
so good.
That
as
is
much
fantastic.
as I love Uncanny 207, this is going to be the favorite book of the rest of my life. So
wow, that's a beauty.
That's my fun cleaning and pressing story for tonight.
Amazing.
So have you ever met Todd in person? Like, I've never met him in person.
I have not yet, but I am going to make it happen at some point for sure.
So cool. Absolutely incredible.
That's a moment.
Yeah. And again, shout out Matt. Matt's done some work for me as well. And not that I sent anything to CGC, but just I just wanted these books crisp in my boxes, and there's certainly some beauty. So
Justin actually had a Hulk 180 that he sent down here. That when he showed the video of it when he first got it from Zaps, I was like, man, I can fix that. I can just send it. I'll fix it.
Yep. Yeah. You could see some of the marks from far away, and you got rid of
so Justin sends me a package with a Hulk 180, an X-Men 94, and a Daredevil #2. Yeah, and he's like, here you go, buddy, have at it.
And you got that roll out of that Daredevil too, which is it's a nice copy. Otherwise, it just had that.
Yeah, it was a real good copy.
Yeah, no, you do good stuff, my friend. I definitely recommend it.
The Instagram and the YouTube links for Matt are down below, as well as that video link, so you can find all the details on Matt. And if you got some books that need some pressing, obviously, we're getting professional level here. This is a new status level for this program, I think.
There we go.
Thank you.
Let's say hello to some friends we got bouncing in the chat, and then we can get into this book for tonight. We got my man Ruben Guzman. I got to hang out with him on Sunday at over at WonderCon in Anaheim here. It was awesome seeing him, and he gave me some wild gifts, way beyond the pale. I don't even know what to say. So
nice.
If you missed it earlier on Justin's channel, he was talking music again with our friend John Big Daddy Ross and Noah Broke Boy Comics. So they were chatting about Riverside, an album from the Shrine of the
Shrine of the New Generation Slaves is the name of it.
Thank you.
Prog rock, John. Prog rock.
So it's from the Czech Republic. That's what I'm learning.
Poland.
Okay, so I was close. And Matt's in the chat. He's doing double duty. Appreciate that, Matt. Got my neighbor to the north. We got Adam make stuff up. What's going on, Adam? We got our friend Matt. Another great Matt in the chat. Look at that.
What a great cover.
We got our friend Damien Sleepy Reader in the chat. What's going on, Damien? We got Magic Lasso. What is going on, Ryan? I'm surprised you even took a break from posting Wonder Woman books to be here today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shout out Ryan. He's doing it as he's watching. He's filming and posting.
That makes
Keep
sense.
it going, Ryan.
We got Boggy in the chat. What's going on, Boggy? Good to see you.
Station.
How you doing, brother Bobby? We got Candace. What's going on, Candace?
Candace.
Shout out to
Let's
Candace.
see.
She also threw up some Storm love.
She
as we were,
did.
fighting late into the night last night. So thank you, Candace, for participating.
For sure. White Tiger saying I had to keep myself from buying a bunch of Dazzler ones. Yeah, don't encourage Magic Lasso. He will do the same. It's not a good thing. We got the Jackson Roy Kirk. What's going on, Jackson?
There he is.
Distracted by Gary B's channel. I get it. He's a distracting kind of guy. I get that. Let's see who else. We got Chet I Knight. What's going on, Chet? Good to see you, sir.
What's up, Chet?
Happy Tuesday. Scrolling. I think I caught up. We got everybody. Awesome. As a reminder, stick around to the end. We are nearing the end of the season, which means the big giveaway is coming up. To be a winner, you got to be on the little list here. You got to answer some trivia questions when we get to the end of the show. The trivia questions will be about issue 206, which we did over on Justin's channel last week. So if you've read the issue or you were there, obviously lots you can answer to. Or if you just make Matt laugh, you could be scoring some points as well. So stick around to the end for that. Right. But let's dive into 207 here tonight. This iconic cover, Wolverine slicing through the trade dress, the cover, the whole deal. This is from July of 1986, cover date. Of course, Justin and I had some fun chats about cover versus release date recently. This is a cover date of July of 86. Romita Jr. and Claremont. But let's talk about this cover. Obviously, it's a big piece here. Justin, I'm just curious your thoughts on what Romita's. I mean, we go up and down with Romita. It's a roller coaster ride. How are you feeling about this one?
That we do. Great gifts, by the way. Great gift choices. Love this cover. Certainly an iconic. I think, I try not to use the word iconic very often. I feel like I found myself used to using that a lot. And I'm like, let me back off on using iconic. But I do think this is an iconic cover. I think that this is one that stands out for the ages, no matter what time you kind of started collecting. And as soon as you had Wolverine in your life, this was a book that I think was just well sought after, and is still well sought after for both its exteriors and interiors. So, well done for JR. As you said, it's definitely been a little bit of a roller coaster with his artwork throughout this season, but this is definitely on the high end of things.
Sure.
I will say, based on what we get in this book, I do wish that we got a little bit more of accuracy with what else went on, or maybe a secondary character, because I think that this book is more focused on another character than just Wolverine per se. This would almost to me be like, if you told me this was a variant back in the day, which I know they didn't do variants this time, but this would be like, okay, like, yeah, that's a iconic variant. But regardless, I mean, he's still very much prevalent in the story. So respect there. And I just love that obviously the paper ripping through the paper there with the claws. Gotta love that. So love this cover for sure.
And he cuts a lot of there's a lot of cutting and slicing and dicing going on here. So I mean, some of that's accurate, right? Yes. Obviously, Matt, this book means a ton to you. I'm very curious, like, how much of the love for this issue stems from the cover?
100%. Yeah. I told you guys backstage when I read it again over the weekend. It might have been Friday night, actually. It took me right back to being 18 years old. So 30 years ago, I see this and I'm in love with the cover. And I remember reading through, and every panel that I read, I was like, oh, that's not as good as the cover. That's not as good as the cover. That's
so judgy, man.
That's kind of this. But then it just, it all came back to me. It's still a book I love. So I'm never going to say that I hate it or anything. So it's all covered by for me when I was a kid, for sure.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. I mean, obviously we're entering the era of the Wolverine cover, because we're going to get several as we get into the Mutant Massacre. So this is kind of like the launch point, I feel like, for like Marvel telling people we need Wolverine on the cover more.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. A lot of heads there, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got all the floating heads here, all the 80s hairstyles included. Gore says, I'm here for the Save Scott Summers support group, sponsored by the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. You know what, Gore? There's that's gonna be a you don't need to worry about getting like coffee and donuts for that group. There's nobody there. That is like, there's two people. Like, you're fine. That there's not a lot of Save Scott Summers fans. I'm just saying. This is the Wolverine fan group in here, the Storm fan group.
And Gore, I am totally stealing that Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. That is going in my repertoire tomorrow.
Classic. Oh yes.
Got my little Lego.
See, there he is. Let's see, Gore on fire. And is he in Gary B's chat as well? See there, that's why we like Gore. All right. Well, I'm definitely with you guys. I love the design. I love the background is kind of fun with the like black section and then the blue under his feet and then the red with the cut. Like there's a lot of fun color work happening and design work. It's not just a Wolverine pose on the front. It definitely adds some fun layers. We don't care, man. Right? We don't care. That guy. But let's dive into the issue. We get right in with another great splash page, as we've been having a lot of lately. We got Wolverine on a pile of rubble, and yet again, all the names of the creators are in pieces of the rubble there on the ground, and he's screaming for Phoenix. Phoenix is in her new sort of Phoenix gear, looking a little bit like her hunter form as well. And she is basically thinking, oh, Wolverine's my friend. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. And then Wolverine tries to kill her. And she's like, what are you doing? And then he's like, I'm here to kill you. And then she blasts him away. It's quite a start here, Justin. I didn't know how you felt. We're coming off all these Beyonder books, and it's been a little bit helter-skelter. And then we come here, and it's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I mean, I just thinking about where we last saw Wolverine. I was trying to think, he wasn't in good condition. So where does this take place? I was definitely asking a lot of questions. I do enjoy this splash page. I like the detail in rubble. I was actually trying to make out what one of the signs even said. It says, "Don't be lame, be the same, be something same." I was trying to see if it said or if there's any other signs, but I like the signage of Chris Claremont and just having the whole team written out in those one-way signs there at the bottom right corner. So I just thought that was fun. Plus you get like the off in the distance, almost like that Tokyo vibe from the Frank Miller stuff and all that stuff. Those pinks and purples and blues in the background with the moon there. So definitely a great pose for Wolverine. And then I can only imagine Rachel just being like, oh my god, my friend, my buddy, my pal. And then you just get Snicket and that man, that hairy man charging at you like that. I'd just be terrified. I'd be terrified if I was her. Now, granted, she handles it well, but still, now as a reader, I'm like, what is happening right now? So, pretty great.
Yeah, it definitely hooks you, right? Matt, I don't know how much of this issue you remembered until you went back this weekend to read it, but it does kick off with quite a hook.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading. First off, I love when a cover uses the trade dress as part of the cover, and I love when a splash page uses the words that it's normally on a splash page in the art. That's two big thumbs up for me. But this one, I remember being confused, and even when I picked it back up and started it on Friday night, I remember being, wait a minute, this isn't right, and then trying to figure out where this is actually placed, and then remembering, oh, yeah, now I understand.
Definitely takes a little while to settle your brain on it, because there were definitely moments of this that I forgot. I was like, wait, we're here, what's going on? And I think there is some fun, I think, from the art to kind of amp that up a little bit to a new level. So Wolverine was like, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. She's definitely feeling some fear on the part of Rachel Summers, but let's see what she does. She goes running, and we're clearly, and she's realizing, wait, Wolverine's supposed to be my friend, but now I'm in this dystopian possible future. She is like us. She is confused as to what's going on. Very, very confused. And then she runs by a window or a mirror, and she sees that her outfit has changed. She is in the Hound outfit completely. And she is like, what is happening? She shatters the glass and runs on further, only to find, that iconic wanted poster with all the dead mutants and captured mutants on it. She is very confused. She's trying to think through, no, Wolverine's my friend, and she's trying to think through, I've made mistakes in the past, but I shouldn't be punished for them forever, and I want to try to do better. So she's running and hiding, and then feels like maybe I just had a dream that I was with the X-Men. Maybe my real life is here, and I've been dreaming that other time. And she starts screaming and shouting, and we see Wolverine kind of stalking her, and then he grabs her by the hair and pulls her over a wall that looks, Wolverine's short, but it looks like a 9-foot wall to me, pulls her up and over and then just starts slicing and dicing her. And of course, she wakes up in her bedroom in the mansion, just kind of overwhelmed. Matt, any thoughts here on what Rachel's going through? Clearly a pretty intense nightmare.
Yeah, it was a whole lot going around in my head trying to figure out what was actually happening to see Wolverine killing her. And there was no innuendo, there was nothing. It was clear right there on the panel, like, oh, he's doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a surprise to see him be this brutal because we haven't had as much of this in the comics up to now. I mean, there's been a little bit of it, a little here or there, but this feels really aggressive. Justin, any thoughts from you on like this dream sequence coming to an end and how brutal Wolverine seems to be?
Yeah, so it's interesting as I was reading this, and you mentioned the outfit change in this this first page here. A part of me is like, all right, Wolverine's attacking her, it's probably a dream, right? But then like we get into some stuff where like you said, her clothes change, and I immediately, when normally you would think like, okay, clothes can't just change like that, it probably is most likely a dream, but for her it can, because her vision of herself can change. Like she's got the ability to do all that. So, from our understandings with the lines on her face and everything, she is, hiding that a majority of the time, that's a permanent thing that not even as a reader, you don't always see. So I kind of like second guessed it. I was like, okay, maybe it's not, I don't know. Obviously it turns out it is, but I'm so interested in Rachel, just in more of what, I mean, we've talked about it, these last couple issues, especially, just like hearing again her story of what she came from and what she did, turned into a war machine for human being to kill mutants, only to then, when she says the government didn't need her anymore and they threw her in prison, she was accepted by her own mutant kind again, showing this love and forgiveness, and she was like humbled and touched by that. And obviously things still went south, and she was still left alone with, I guess, just Wolverine apparently. But then to hear it again, all within that middle page, that again she comes to this new life, this new world, and again Kitty and Storm and everybody brings her in, like she's well loved, and she's had lots of opportunities to be loved. And at the same time, clearly this stuff's her past is eating away at her. And so now you just don't know what's happening. And then of course, Wolverine with the hair, that's a wrestling move right there, over the ropes there, pulling by the hair. The refs will yell at you for that. But I do love that when he slams her down, just the wording he uses, and he talks about basically, says some crimes, Rachel Summers, can't be forgiven. And you just see like his hands cross, and you know exactly what's happening there. And then of course, you get the rude awakening here. So just heavy stuff. That poster you pointed out, like, anytime we get, hints of that era again, or that story, that her background,
that Days
like,
of Future Past.
Just like, I love it. I mean, it gives you chills. It's a dark time. And you feel for her. And I know we're going to get into more of this, but you definitely feel for Rachel.
Well, and I think they do a great job coloring with black on these pages. Like, obviously that silhouette of Wolverine is particularly fantastic, where he's just kind of like, he looks like a cowboy, like standing in the doorway or something. He just gets that silhouette. But then her black costume, and then his costume should normally be brown, but it's done like this sort of intense black color and then you can't see his eyes or his face when he's carving into her. It's pretty intense.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
Well, then let's continue on here. She wakes up. She is in a pretty fragile place. She's looking in the mirror and she sees the scar tattoos on her face, and realizes, like, that she has transformed back in her dream. She shatters the mirror just as Colossus and Kitty come through, and then she has to cover her face because she's still keeping things from a lot of people. She's not being upfront with really anybody at this point. Kitty is checking on her, has some sympathy for her. She basically tells them, Rachel basically tells them that I don't need anything. They inform her we're hiding out in the Morlocks sewers under New York, that they needed a place to hide out, and that they wanted to check on Wolverine because he had shown up here after being injured. So they're trying to talk Rachel down a little bit, but Rachel really just asks to be alone. So they leave, and she looks at the mirror and sees herself sort of fragmented and is trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, Wolverine in a bed nearby wakes up, and he has clearly experienced her dream. He's recovering from an injury like Justin mentioned from the last issue, and he's sitting there in his recovery bed, but he clearly was in her dream or has an awareness of what she went through, which I don't know, Justin, if you thought that was interesting, or, for me at first, I was like, wait, did he get all those injuries from the dream or from the glass or whatever? But no, I had to remind myself, no, wait, remember, he got messed up when Katie Powers rescued him a couple issues ago.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was kind of asking these questions of like, and again, even just knowing her powers, I'm like, what is she exactly capable of? Can she, attack someone or bring someone into her dreams? Like, I don't even know. I just feel like she's got so many possible abilities. You just don't know. But yeah, this was interesting. Like this is the first moment where, yes, they check on her. Of course, Kitty not using the door. Gotta love that. But when they bring it up, Kitty kind of gives a little attitude about it, and it's just like, hey, like, we're the guests here at the Morlock house, like, and this is not, this is, you just destroyed someone else's stuff. And she says, I'm sorry, Kitty, it was an accident. She says, sometimes, Rachel, being sorry isn't enough, and a person with your power can't afford accidents. And they leave, and in her mind, she's like, who does she think she is talking to me that way, talking about Kitty? And even for me, I'm like, oh yeah, like, yeah, that was a little attitude-ish, which then again, I'm thinking, are we in another dream? Like, is this real? What is real? What is real, Matt?
It's Nightmare on Elm Street time.
Yes. Oh, dude, that did cross my mind. Nightmare. I thought maybe you'd have some gifts here at some point. But yeah, so just really interesting. And then then when we get Wolverine here, I think that Chris does a good job of his storytelling here, and that he gives us the information, but he does it in kind of a unique way that doesn't have to just be in a box somewhere of where you're at and where this takes place. And, I love Chris's writing and everything. I feel like for this era, especially, like, I feel like you didn't get that as much. You still somewhat had things being described to you. And at least here, I don't know, a little different, just stood out to me for this moment.
For me, I'm glad that this panel happened.
I think he also is like, he's pacing himself a little bit.
I'm just glad this happened right when it did, because
which panel are you talking? Which one?
When Wolverine wakes up. So now I'm thinking, I know exactly what's happening. Wolverine was in her dream, and so I enjoyed the issue a whole lot more because I could understand what's going on more now. And I remembered probably why Kitty's pissed, and the same reason that Wolverine is pissed, and that he was in her head was with Rachel absorbing them. And just that whole deal, and maybe they were asked, maybe they weren't, that kind of thing, and then just to see all of that just instantly in these 2 pages came right back to me, and then I checked right back in, and I'm locked in the whole rest of the issue from here.
Love it. Love it.
Adam asks, weren't they in San Francisco a few minutes ago? And that was, yes, the last issue ended with them saying, we're going to fly back to New York, we're going to San Francisco, or we're going back to New York from San Francisco. So they don't show the travel. They just jump straight to where they went after getting back. They didn't go to the mansion. Instead, they went to the Morlocks under New York, because that's where Wolverine was recovering after the Katie Powers storyline that we read a few weeks back. The Morlocks are like, oh, sure, I'd love to give up my room to these people who only show up when they get their butts kicked. Yeah, that's fair. Any more thoughts here, Matt? I do think that, again, that the use of black is kind of interesting here, with like the bricks being in black, and then the behind of the mirror, there's like this darkness in the mirror.
The panel I remember the most from this is the mirror, when Rachel puts it all back together, and she is just so many different versions of herself all in that one panel. And that's the one thing I remember off of both of these pages. Right.
Yeah. It's a cool visual for sure.
Absolutely.
Especially for a character as splintered as she is right now.
Right. Yep.
Okay, well, then moving on, Wolverine tries to get up and go help. He's like, I got to go check on her. But then he's like, nope, he's falling down. His healing power doesn't seem to be working quite the way it normally does. And they've been trying to heal him, as Rogue and Nightcrawler discuss. They're trying to figure out what's going on. So Rogue flies out to meet with Storm and the Morlocks and have a little chat. Rachel is there and she's got a punk. Now everybody's got punk outfits. Everybody's doing the punk rock look. And
it was the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it was. You could tell by the, if nothing else, by the chokers they're all wearing. But Rachel asks Storm, you know, what's going on? Can you give me some info? And Storm just says he's alive and then basically moves on, just completely ignoring her. Rachel gets super haughty about it, very frustrated. And then Rogue basically sets her straight. Rogue's like, look, we're allowed to be pissed off. If you recall, you basically took all of our life forces to become the Phoenix and go around fighting gods without basically asking anybody's permission, right? Which is something we had voiced a few issues back when we saw her ask some of the ladies, but then just take all the guys without asking any single one of them, right? And then Rogue points out, even the people you asked are questioning whether or not you messed with them and got their approval by manipulating their minds. So nobody feels very safe or comfortable around you. And maybe you should check your anger issues a little bit because it doesn't really seem fair to all of us. Some bold statements there, Matt, as far as like how Rachel's behaving and how the impact it's having on the team.
Yeah, if you read the issue back to front almost, you can really see this is like the tipping point for her anger is really starting to boil. And then it just keeps brewing and brewing and brewing to that last page.
Yeah, Rachel clearly on the knife's edge here in a big way, but I think that's kind of her like defining character.
True. That is
attribute that she's always, you know, maybe it's the defining attribute of a Phoenix is that you always have to be like mentally like on the edge of insanity in some way.
Especially if you're a dark one.
Right. And, you know, she also, you know, learned probably some telepathy skills from Xavier. So, you know, Justin, not respecting boundaries should be par for the course, right?
Yeah. I mean, can you fault her? You know, she's been hanging out with the wrong crowd. Yeah, to Roy Kirk's point, yeah, on these pages we get kind of more of a defined like reason why they did go to the Morlocks is because of the healer, who we met, you know, in episodes back or issues back. So trying to put him next to it, I do like that we are getting an explanation and tie-in to, you know, 202, 203, 205, like all these things, because some of them are not random, but just there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of things that are going on here, and like 205, for instance, is a little bit random, like that. It
would have been easy for them to just ignore all of that and created a different story rather than, you know, slowly pulling bits and pieces in too.
Yeah,
and I like how it ended up.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I thought this was. I like that they tied this all together, and I like that, you know, even Storm turning her back and being angry as she was, because think about that moment. Like Storm straight up said, no, like I'm not giving you my life force. This is not okay. We need to talk this out. What if you're wrong? And she's just like, sorry, but I'm doing this. Like, I don't know. Like that's a hard thing to forgive. You know, I mean, one thing for sure. I mean, even her taking it from the guys, so she didn't even ask. That's hard enough to forgive as it is too. So I really don't blame any of them for feeling kind of salty in the way that they are. Because she went against what, you know, she didn't ask. She, you know, it really is an issue. And although in her own head, she still feels so confident that she's right. And I also think Rogue makes a great point that, yes, even when, like, you know, she did it and Kitty Pryde said it's okay. You know, some of them did say yes, but she's absolutely right with the power that she has. Again, knowing that she's dangerous, right? She could do basically anything. Any one of these panels could be a dream. She could be doing this. She could have been the one to make them say yes. So I don't know. There's just a lot that goes into it. I think these pages are pretty heavy with considering both sides of things and knowing what they all have just kind of gone through in these last 3 to 4 issues. So I really like these pages.
Well, and Matt, we get some great 80s looks here. It seems like they're a band, right? This is basically Joan Jett's backup crew, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is pure 80s, 86, 87. It's
there's no sleeves. Like we don't do sleeves anymore.
No,
everything's
no time
torn. For that. Yeah, everything's off the shoulder a little bit, right? Lots of weird bracelets and neck pieces, and it's a dominatrix era.
Love it.
But at the end there, we get a little panel with a different border to it, and it's basically hinting at the idea that we're in Japan, and we jump to what is clearly going to be another dream sequence. But now Rachel is in Wolverine's memories, and he is still chasing her. He is still calling after her, but now it's his story, and she's running away, and she's in one colored kimono and then a different colored kimono. She's got the little like wooden sandals on. She's being chased across the rooftop, and he is clearly hunting her, and yet again like slaughters her across the roof there. I gotta think, Matt, you were like hyping up on some of the art for these pages.
Yeah, for sure. And I like even on the page before where it did show you the glimpse of the house, and it's
Sure.
clearly Japan. Like it's okay. What's going to be on this next page? That's the leads that I want. I want to be enticed to turn the page. And
But it's such great Wolverine. I feel like the drawings of Wolverine here. I know that we give John Romita some harsh takes sometimes, but this is pretty fantastic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that I didn't like a little bit through the issue was some of the art on Rachel. But yeah, the Wolverine art is great.
Yeah, you get the like shadowed face, the eyes that pop out, and then again, a ton of great use of black in the background, like when she's being chased up the stairs, and he's like this like arrow of white and blue light coming after her.
Perfect dream sequence art, in my opinion.
Right?
It's really good.
And then there at the bottom, you'd get that red background, like kind of the little stripes we get on the cover. And there he is carving her up. Justin, any thoughts that are landing in Japan there?
Yeah, I mean now I'm definitely like, okay, dream sequence, and now it's making more sense to me as they reminded us of all the connections and the taking of life that she's done. Where I'm like, okay, like it's seeping through. Like Wolverine, his world is kind of taking over in parts of her mind, for sure. I agree. This panel right here, the pose and everything, kind of the shadow with just the eyes lit up. I love that. And then even the farther page at the top there, the shadow and him coming, just the representation of him coming through, and that's just like the light, that he's kind of walking out of into the darkness as she's running up the stairs. I thought that was a really good use of color and shading. And then of course, the snicket that you get at the bottom. I mean, it gets like more and more vicious, really, each time that he tries to kill her. You get more violence. So, and I like the silhouette of him, like leaning there, kind of popping his head out there, chasing her down. But yeah, this is, what was the other thing? She talks about, she's starting to figure it out. She's like, okay, I'm in Japan. I must be drawing the images from Wolverine. She says, if I wake myself up, if I can break the psionic rapport that binds us together, I can save myself. But then she struggles to do that. It's just a good way to like remind yourself too that they have that rapport. She has that with them. Yeah. And the fact that he's just like, friendships involve trust. You betrayed mine. / like, so good. That's two times now we had this like great
sure. And whether this is like her memories of Wolverine or her guilt manifesting or thoughts from his mind, there's a lot of aspects to this version of Wolverine that she's being chased by.
Yeah.
Bobby's saying, settle down, sugar. I like the road. This is definitely a Madonna or Pat Benatar era for sure. Absolutely, Bobby and Chat. Definitely a fact. Adam God's a great point. He said the comic code at the time said you couldn't show red blood, but black was okay. That's a great point. And we're gonna get a lot of blood from Wolverine over the next few issues, so be ready. All right, well then continuing on, she wakes up, but now she's no longer in with the Morlocks. She's basically like on the street, and she's fallen asleep in an alley somewhere. So she's just kind of like trying to figure some things out. She's sort of walking the city, and while she falls into yet another dream. This time it seems like it's almost like a far off, other planet almost. The sunlight seems different. The air and the ground all seem different. She's running. She's in her full hound gear. She falls and tumbles down to a weird water source, and she starts pulling her own face off like it's a costume, and she strips it away to find a version of herself that she could actually like love perhaps underneath. But that's not enough for old man Logan standing there waiting for her. And he just jumps right down to take his vengeance. And she blasts him for the second time that we've seen, using her energy force to kind of like shove him away. Justin, any thoughts here on this? Is some really cool color work.
Oh man, for sure. So it actually, that middle page reminded me of like Bilks Evelis from Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, like that. I almost thought like, oh, is she in that world? Like, is she on Krypton or something? Like the unique drawings of and color work was really well done. And then I mean, just to see her kind of wake up, she's down this alleyway, and immediately her whole mentality kind of shifts here. She starts to call out. She says, "Stupid, complacent humans. How often have the X-Men saved your pathetic lives, saved the world, the entire universe, yet you're still scared of us?" She's highlighting that. It was almost like, you had this nightmare, and now you go right into like how can she carry this anger now, going forward, even just waking out of that scary, moment. But clearly there's just so much on her mind in that regard. And again, we're starting to see where she feels this need for having to make things right for all the stuff she's done wrong, and that this is starting to be, hold on, this might be the way that I can do this. I can make it okay. The things I did, I can make it okay if I can, correct some other things here. And so I think right away, just seeing her mind at first with the humans and talking the way she's talking, you get a little glimpse of that. I know we'll get, more into that here in a little bit, but
sure.
And then of course, I think that represents with her ripping off her skin, which again, like Freddy Krueger vibes, like just like, the nightmare. I mean, this was, if I was a little kid reading this, like, I think I would have been pretty scared. Like the way she really digs into her face in that one panel is pretty scary, and of course to see the skin on the next page, that's freaky.
I mean, I was probably 9 when I read this. If I got it the year that it came out, and Matt, I was actually curious because I distinctly remember the pulling the skin off of her face as like what?
Yeah, so I was 18 when I read it, and so that would have been 1996, and I definitely remember that summer when I read this and really got into the X-Men. I didn't always love Claremont's writing, but for some reason, there was a lot of parts of this book that I loved. And the thing that really sticks out with me still all these years later is when she does uncover this other version, she immediately turns around and says, "See, I'm different. I've changed." And then Claremont just throws out, "Yeah, that's what you think." And then, and then she's gone.
Yeah. And we have a character who's clearly dealing with some level of sleep exhaustion because she's fallen asleep and waking up in strange places. There's some very Fight Clubby kind of things going on for her here, Matt. Like psychosis wise, she's trying to heal trauma here, but it's like the Wolverine in her refuses to let her do it. Right? She can't better herself. There's no way out of this.
Yeah, as when I first read it, as just out of high school, I kept seeing her as having multiple people in her. That's what I saw whenever the different versions of her. And in my head, it stuck with me that there is that many versions of her inside. And that's probably not true, obviously, but that's just how I take it. And so every time that I see anything to do with her, I remember that glass panel. And so now she's pulling off the skin, and now here's one of the versions. And so I'm thinking, okay, that ties into just how I thought. And so that thought just stayed with me every time I see it and every time I see her.
No, I like that metaphor. That's fantastic for all the fractured elements inside of her, for sure. Justin, looked like you wanted to say something there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, that I agree. I like that take on it.
Well, then let's see how the dream comes out. She wakes up in a subway car or an elevated train, could be either, I suppose. And she's fallen asleep on this train, and the police officer's there. He's like, "Hey, I don't know how familiar you are with New York. You look tough, but not a good idea to sleep on the trains. Like not a safe place for that. Can I help you out? Are you doing okay?" And she basically runs and uses her powers to trip the officer and get away, and then runs out into the city streets, which look pretty disheveled overall, look kind of reminiscent to how the issue started a little bit. And in doing so, she starts thinking back. She thinks back to a character she met briefly, a rich kid who took her in, and she can't even remember the kid's name. Just remembered that, they had met at another club and he had taken her back when she was kind of feeling awful. And he was murdered by Selene, right? The witch from the Hellfire Club. And they had one of the early battles of her using kind of her Phoenix powers. And she's thinking back through this moment and realizing, I never paid that girl back. I need to go pay that girl. It's quite a jump here, Matt, as far as like her basically deciding, you know, I'm traumatized. I'm not sleeping well. I'm having these weird dreams. Straight over to, you know, what I should do is kill somebody. I need to kill. That's going to be the solution.
Well, the first thing is there any lesser action from someone with such great power than to just cause somebody to trip who's trying to help you? Just I can't get that one out of my head.
Fair,
but yeah, it's clearly she is all over the place, and it's just interesting from page to page, and that's what kept me hooked. Never knew what the next one was going to be, and then we've got the flashback of her hanging out with this guy, and then all of a sudden, you know, he is completely Frankensteined, and here we go. Now it's time to fight.
Yeah, I don't know how well you remembered that moment, Justin, with it she's flashing back to and kind of like feeling like, oh yeah, this is the way out of this problem. I go kill this random person.
Yeah, so I love that they brought this like memory back, because I do specifically remember that the guy. I remember being Nicholas. I didn't remember the last name, and I couldn't remember kind of where, like what happened after that. But I remember him specifically, you know, offering the drink. And her feeling like, you know, wow, like this person's kind of taking me in, helping me out. And then again, I forgot that the Selene, you know, issues, you know, were pretty dark, even, you know, the scary side of that, seeing him, you know, destroyed like that. I was like, oh yeah. So that was cool to kind of see a glimpse of that, and that they actually, you know, made that something. But to your point, this is getting crazy. I mean, and I think as much as it feels like it's like, it could be considered jarring that you're just like hopping from one thing to the next, I think it works well because it's, you know, because we've been getting these dream sequences, and because you, the reader, are kind of mixed with what is real, what is not. And you're being hit with all these dark memories, or just memories, I guess, in general.
Yeah.
And she's just got a lot going on. She needs to talk to somebody, is what it comes down to. And she's all alone.
If only there was like an elder telepath, you know, teacher figure that could help her with this ability somehow.
Yeah.
Justin, as somebody with a short attention span, from time to time, this jumping around, this works really well for me. Like it's not lulling me to sleep with too many details. We're going all over.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it pushes you into her mindset too, of feeling like I wake up and I fall asleep and I don't know where I am and I don't know what's going on. You create some sympathy for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Jackson mentions, of course, Selene and the New Mutants title with Nova Roma, for sure. Big part of that. Cut back to the Morlocks tunnels, and the X-Men are realizing, oh, Wolverine and Rachel are both gone. We should spread out. You know what? We're going to need some Morlocks to help us track people down. You guys have that mutant that tracks people, right? Where's Caliban? We need that guy. And they run off. Meanwhile, Rachel has gone to this apartment tower because she has selected Friedrich von Rohem as her victim. She is going to basically use this gentleman who is a member of the Hellfire Club and control him and manipulate him and go in as his like assistant to the Hellfire Club. He's going to be her ticket in. Then when she's in, she's going to knock him out, knock out the maid, dress up as the maid. It's elaborate. It's elaborate. And then go and find Selene's room. And of course she does. And one of the things apparently that the Black Queen has to have is the Black Queen costume on a mannequin just right next to your bed. Whenever you gotta have it right. No closets for the lingerie. But this, of course, does stir up some memories for both Rachel, but also like her mom's experience in the Hellfire Club, right? And some of the things that she went through. So then, of course, this fuels the rage face that we get at the bottom there, Justin, as Rachel's like, okay, game on.
Oh yeah, so good. So I love that we get these flashbacks while she's actually there, picturing her mom, like kind of the I don't know what you call that, like the ghostly visions that she's seeing, and them cheersing and everything just brings back so many great memories of reading at that time. Really, really epic story. Yeah, and then I just love that at the end there, that far side, she goes, "You're responsible for untold misery. If not stopped, you'll cause more." She's talking about the Hellfire Club at this point. For a moment, only weeks ago, I followed in mom's footsteps. I became Phoenix, and through that power, one with the universe. I beheld life in all its myriad glory. And then she says, "I couldn't kill then, I couldn't kill then. Can I do so now? That was different. Those were innocent lives. The Hellfire Club is evil." She was like calm for a second and then just goes off out of nowhere. And all these little things she says to herself, she just feeds into that anger and that, violence. And I love the yellow eyes. Like everything on that page is like blue. And then just a little flick of the yellow eyes there was really well done. So, yeah, wild stuff, man. I do like these scenes.
Matt, I know that sometimes JR's faces are a little off, but I'm loving look at Storm in the corner there, that evil close up of Rachel, and then like Justin's talking about that transition. There's some good facial art.
All 3 pages you got here. This is perfect. This is a perfect collaboration. And my 2 favorite panels are in the top right, where you see the silhouette from inside the room looking out, and then the camera or your visual changes, and now you're from behind and you see the silhouette projected into the room. Those 2 are perfect.
Yeah. And then great color work, obviously the blue of night in the inside sequences, and then the lighted sequences where you get all the colors and the costumes.
And honestly, never thought about the costume sitting on the stand until you said it. Now I can't unsee it, and I can't quit chuckling.
I think it's so funny. I mean, I'm not. It does seem like something the Hellfire Club would do. Like it seems in keeping with their mantras of as far as what they the clothing that the characters wear. But just it made me giggle seeing it there right beside her bed. Because obviously it's so comfortable that you don't want to sleep in it. What's up, Kenneth Birds in the chat? Hey, how's it going?
Kenneth.
Nobody keeps a dress form 10 feet from their bed, right? Or is that just you're not, Adam? Why are you not doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Anybody else have other thoughts here they want to share, or should we move along here?
Yeah, no, keep it going.
Yep, roll on.
Justice. All right. Well, then moving on to the next page, this is when the fire is lit. Rachel goes full Phoenix. She starts destroying the room. Celine wakes up and she's like, "Can a girl catch a nap? Like I was just sleeping. I didn't even do any crap today. Like I didn't even start any stuff today. Like I was just wearing my lingerie and sleeping, and now I'm getting attacked." But she's all for it. She jumps right out of bed and is happy to go toe to toe and just be like, you don't even know the guy's name. She's not. One of my favorite bits here is where she's like, "You're so upset about the guy I killed. You don't even know his name."
And she knows his name and everything about him. She's like, I honor him.
She treats him like she's, hunted him and used his carcass to sustain herself. She's like, "No, I know his name. I value him. He's food for mine. He's
She's like, "I'm not a monster like you who doesn't even know who you're killing."
Right. But Rachel doesn't want to hear any of it. And people are running and fleeing out of the Hellfire Club. It's just going wild. And in strolls Logan in shadow. He's just walking his way up there, and Rachel's about to kill, and all of a sudden that's when Wolverine shows up. And this time he's not calling her Phoenix. He says her name. He says Rachel, even with the little red around his word bubble to stop her. And he says, "Stop, darling, before it's too late." I had to go with a daddy's home because it felt very much like daddy's here. You gotta listen to daddy. Matt, any thoughts here on Rachel losing it and then Logan being a voice of reason?
I love it. So the whole issue has been building up to this anger. Like I said earlier, you could feel that tipping point early. It's coming. You don't know how it's going to manifest, and then it's here. I love Selena just throwing shade all over the room, all over Phoenix with everything that she says. And then with all of this nonsense that's going on, Logan can hear this from the street, and he just walks up calmly, opens up the door. There's no claws. There's no nothing. No exclamation points in what he says. It's just, "Rachel, stop, darling. before it's too late, and that's it. Like that. That's great. That's good writing.
Yeah. No exclamation marks, right? No dramatic bold font. It's just like, you need to stop, period. Like, like this is the voice of reason. Justin, any thoughts here on, because for me, it's all about, I love Celine. I've never liked the character of Celine a whole lot, but I love her in this scene. Like, she is so phenomenal. And then Wolverine being the other, the calming voice.
Yes, I agree. I do appreciate that Celine is like, she kind of called it. She's like, oh, holy crap. Like, I remember this girl. I remember thinking she'll be dangerous at some point down the road, but I didn't think it was gonna be this soon. Like, she's like, she's discovered her power. Like, she is and Celine struggles. Like, she's like, I need a little time. Luckily I can do this, and I have these things that I can do, but none of it, like, she says big deal, and she just like throws all the things in the room to the side. I love the artwork here. I love the shading of the reds and kind of the detail and all that stuff. This to me, just the way things are being thrown around, like, this is a great fight scene here, and one that like she's got full control here. Celine, you don't really see her in these situations where she's like losing. I feel like, like, even she's just someone who figures a way to get the best of her opponents usually, but not in this time. But I do like, as you guys pointed out before, like, just kind of the back and forth of like, I can't believe you don't remember Nicholas, whatever. Like, and
Damiano,
like,
yes.
Damiano, yeah. And like, again, even more so for her to just feel worse, like, damn it, I can't even remember that. Like, God, I'm the worst,
And yet this brutal killer does, right? The brutal killer is like, I know his name.
Yeah, it's so good. And I like that everybody's running, because I think they say, like, they set the fire alarm off or something. So everyone's running, trying to get out of this place. And then I just imagine, like, being that guy in the hallway in that far side running, and just as you're running down the stairs, you just see Wolverine slowly walking up the stairs. I'd be like, like, I'd be terrified to even go down the stairs.
Sure.
And then for him to go in there and just say, stop, darling. I was hoping he'd say bub at some point, but we didn't get a bub. But still great. And I love seeing
Frail. He calls her a frail.
Frail, yeah. And I love seeing her her face and reaction when she does turn the shoulder, and she's all in red there and everything. Like, I do like that artwork there, the detail there. So good stuff. Good stuff.
And yet again, another like use of the black Wolverine silhouette. He's had all these kind of poses in her memory, and this time slowly walking up the stairs. No urgency in any of those poses. They seem very much like almost still, right? As he's kind of navigating this space.
Just a stroll and taking deep breaths.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for sure. Well, then let's get to the last few pages here. She screams, Wolverine, oh my gosh, you're from my dream. This is not real. I don't have to be afraid of you. And he's trying to, he's very different than in her dreams. Everything is with a period. Everything is calm. He's trying to just tell her like that, like, you're better than this. This is not the way we do things. You're not a judge, jury, and executioner. We've killed before, but what you're doing now is murder. You're not worthy of being, this isn't worthy of you, Rachel, or the Phoenix. We call ourselves heroes, girl. That means we have to stand for something no matter how hard or how much it hurts. We represent the dream. We have to play by the rules. And she is losing it. She is like not prepared to be talked to in any way. And she's still doubting what is real and what is not. Yeah. And so she finally says the Phoenix makes her own rules. And then he tells her this is the last warning. And then she says, the only way to stop me is to kill me. And we end on just the snicked, and he's popped his claws, and that's how this rolls out.
The cover is the reason that I bought the book. The last two panels are the reason I love the book.
Yes.
It just ends. It's like, wow. So much that I went and read it again. That was great.
And Matt, I'm an X-Men fan. There's always these, it happened in X-Men 3, The Last Stand. There's always these moments when Wolverine has to kill a Phoenix. Like, it seems to happen repeatedly. This is really our first one. Like, this is really the first time when a Phoenix has demanded this of him, and he's done it.
And what I like is that Wolverine drew the line. He knew his line. He held his patience up to that line, and she stepped over the line, and there we go. So there was no hesitation on his part, and I don't know. It was just, again, well written. Really like.
And we get our only exclamation mark from him is that last thing where he says, please.
Yep.
Right. He says, come away, Rachel, please. And of course, she's not hearing any of it. Justin, I got to know the reaction from you when you got to that final panel or that final page. And he's just like, you see the like blur lines around him in the second panel where he clearly is moving his arm, and then the snicked.
Yeah, I immediately thought of X3. I really did. I saw that scene and just like her reaction and the fact that she screams this. Yeah, the only way to stop me, Logan, is to kill me. And you just see the way the motion is. Nothing else needs to be said. You get snicked at that last panel. I totally agree with what Matt said there. These last couple panels are fantastic. I was shocked. I'm like, and again, a part of me still like, is this real? I'm pretty sure this is real. This is a little different than the other things, but every time those dreams ended, it ended kind of similar, where either he kills her or she kills him. But yeah, this time around, it seems different. It seems this all really happened. And I also love at the top of that last page, Celine. I just felt like I was in like seeing her tears and the fire around her, and just even the simple uses of yellow and the way they did it. I just feel like there's this whirlwind of fire and fury that's in the room, and all this buildup and then this quiet moment, even though all this stuff's going on and Celine's like being squeezed to death essentially.
Yeah.
It just really the artwork really captured this moment so well. Just put you right in there with them. And I love the detail of that, even the facial expressions on them. I also liked in the first page here, I liked seeing how Rachel's like, how she's turned when she's looking back to the door. I like her pose there. And she's even screaming, no, you're not real. You're from my dream. It's almost like I'm not falling for this again. I just had this dream 3-4 other times that the reader just went through. So I do like, I feel like this was all built out really well, this whole issue, to just keep you on your toes, and guessing. And yet the emotion hits hard, man. It really does.
I mean, those faces, like the Rachel shocked, and then the Rachel angry, and then the close-up of the eyes. And Justin mentioned the yellow. I think if you also look behind Logan, it's almost always black behind him. It's almost like this hot, cool kind of thing until he's basically stabbing her. And then the yellow gets behind him at that point. Like
That's
like
true.
she's true. Basically overwhelmed him to the point where he's reacting to the manner. Really just it just like to Justin's point, it creates a lot of emotional intensity in these pages here.
Bobby's last comment down there.
Lots of I was gonna say lots of comments to get through the chat. Don't make me do what I do best.
Yes, so true.
Wolverine, put some clothes on. He's wearing his pants. He's got his pants, and does he have one of his? He's got his other boot back now because he only had one boot last time we saw him. Callie Comics in the chat. What's going on, Callie? Good to see you, John.
So Callie.
He cooked Rachel's dinners. That is the fact. So yeah, that is how the issue ends. A bit of a cliffhanger, I will say. I remembered what happened next, but I did dive into the next issue just to read a few pages. To be like, where did it go next?
I ended up going all the way to like 210 or to halfway through 211.
Oh damn it, Matt! You're in the next omnibus now.
That's all right.
But yeah, what a big shocking kind of cliffhanger moment ending here. Let's move, I guess, to is it final thoughts that's next? Yeah, final scores and thoughts on the issue overall, CGC scale, or however you want to grade the book here. Justin, I'll throw it to you first as you love it.
Yeah, so I think that this is a book that again just helps me care even more for Rachel. I've been expressing this these last few weeks. I feel like I'm so intrigued with her character. I feel for her character. I want to see her make it out of this mental challenge and obstacle of forgiving herself. Right? There's so much depth to this that I don't think I ever realized or saw coming. With her as a character. Like getting into the X-Men for the first time, I didn't really know much about Rachel, and I didn't know how big of a role she played or didn't play or anything like that. And I feel like I don't know. I find it so interesting. And so real, I mean, all of us deal with some sort of demons or, we look back and it's very relatable in certain ways. Not that we all, not that we all killed thousands of people on planets the way that her mom did, but something like that. We've all gotten pulled by Wolverine by the hair and thrown over a wall, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
we've all done.
That's why I'm losing so much.
That's yeah. But no, I love this issue. I loved how dark it was. I loved that it kept you guessing. It kept you trying to figure out what was real and what wasn't real. And I think that every little turn, because yes, there was a lot of turns. I could see people being turned off, like, it's a lot going on. But I feel like it's accurate. I feel like it's accurate to her mind and what she's dealing with, and jumping from dream to dream or nightmare to nightmare in that regard. And then also seeing the team turning their back on her and being upset and honestly having rightly so. I think that they should be a little ticked off with the kind of the stuff that she pulled. And again, it's part of her learning process. And one thing I think she has to remember is they've forgiven her and taken her back time and time again, as they've mentioned in this story, and I'm sure that they will again, and as they should. But I just love that. I just love the coming together of that. I love the caring of that, and the characters and how they look out for each other ultimately. So between all that, plus I really like the artwork in this issue. Overall, didn't really have any issues with any of the artwork. In fact, loved a lot of it. And then, of course, the iconic cover that we go back to. This is up there, guys. This is another 9.
I was wondering if he was building up or if he was stalling over there.
This is a 9. This is a 9.8. I think it's got to be a 9.8. Fiery white pages.
There you go.
Yeah, man. For
All
sure.
right, Matt, how about you now, going back and reading it with adult eyes again, looking at this book that you love so much? Where are you coming down on your score for this book?
All right,
hold the book down for this.
Getting a book.
So this issue is what helped frustrate me with so many other X-Men issues, because
you got spoiled.
This issue had a great story. It had what I thought was a great ending. It had a lot of action, a lot of different scenes, a lot of emotion. Everything kept moving. There was no lulls. There was no explanation. There was no background stories. There was nothing. And there was, over the course of my life, I've wanted so many more X-Men issues to flow like this one does.
Sure.
So this one is forever going to be a 9.8 for me.
Boom. There it is.
And this is a 9.8 that I got from our friend John.
Woo!
Wow. Wow.
That's
incredible.
That's great. And I am totally agreeing with you guys. This is a 9.8 for sure. I don't remember how I scored the 205 Wolverine issue, but it feels like the second half of that story, like I could easily read both of them together and just keep the ball rolling on just how great these are. I love, Justin, that you have as the nerd who grew up reading Romita's era of X-Men before Byrne and Cockrum, like I read this stuff way before that, because I was getting in classic X-Men, and this I was reading as it was dropping. I have a lot of affinity for this era of Romita Jr., and I know that he is like a roller coaster to read, but I'm glad that you're having issues where you were reading it going like, this one was great. He was on fire, because these are the issues that hold a lot of memory for me and that keep me like hyped for this book.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is like, and I know he does cons. I know he's very active. I would like to meet him, and I think this is the book I'd want to bring up to him.
Nice.
Yeah, I met him at Heroes Con last year and got this signed by him. And this year at Heroes Con, I'm going to take that same issue back and get Claremont to sign it. I already have a Claremont signed one on a different issue, but I'd like to have them both on the same.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
He is going to be a Terrificon, Matt, just saying.
I do know. I am out of budget for anything other than an hour drive north to Heroes Con.
What is this budget you speak of?
Yeah, you need Lindsay to go to the slot machines and win you a plane ticket.
That's true. Yeah. Y'all,
if we get a free room, you got it, my man.
throw me 100 on black or something.
There it is.
And get me up there, bud.
We got some homies jumping in the chat here. We got Ryan, the Colossus Collector.
Ryan.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you. Bobby says 9.8 snicked white pages with a 9.9 cover.
Heck yeah. Love
it. Gore says Rachel's depth is due to her father, tortured soul, who endured so much pain in his life that yet came out on top of the embodiment of humanity. If you're trying to say that Rachel is dealing with what she's dealing with because she's had such an awful dad, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
That's my takeaway from that. This was huge for me. Ray was so interesting in her backstory and always such a wild card. Good story, good writing. 9.7, says Adam.
Well
there
said.
It is.
Well said.
He's a wizard. Who's a wizard? I'm a wizard.
Harry.
So yeah, great book. Absolutely one that I have gone back to and read a few different times. So we're entering that era when I first started collecting the run of X-Men. And
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we
one's
we go
vital.
backstage after the show today and we reread it again. The three of us.
There it
again.
is.
It'll be great.
Yes. We're the three best friends. That everybody should know.
Well, we got to first do our MVPs. This is the new segment we've added this season. We're trying to pick the character who was most important in this issue for you, a character that really carried the book for you in a big way. So, Justin, I'm curious. Not a lot of characters doing important stuff in this issue. So I think our choices are a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah, I mean, and I usually like to throw some humor in here with this segment, but I'm just gonna cut to the chase and go with Rachel. I just love to see the process of her mind and or how her mind's processing all the things from her past, the life she came from before this, the idea of her wanting to die at times and feeling that she doesn't deserve to be here, and just trying to make up for it along the way, and like just seeing how her mind processes that is huge. So yeah, I'm really loving Rachel, and I hope that she pulls, sees how she comes out with all this stuff. I actually just glanced at the next page or in the omnibus and saw this stunning splash page of Kitty Pryde, by the way.
Yep.
So I think after this, I am going to have to go right into the next.
I mean, I get it.
But anyways, yeah. So I'm going with Rachel as the MVP tonight.
Great pick. Obviously, yeah, a star-stunning turn for her in this issue. Matt, am I assuming that you're with Bobby on this?
Yeah. I'm Wolverine all the way. The closest competition in this was who had the greatest shade factor. Storm was way up there with her.
Yep.
He's alive and turns away. But I think Selena gets her in the end when she just goes and goes and goes 1, 2, 3 at her, and
when she drops Nicholas's name.
Yeah. That was quite good. But yeah, Wolverine MVP for me for sure.
For sure. I'm gonna go with Celine because I just think that whole sequence. She's got like 4 pages in this, and I was either laughing out loud or cheering for her. I was like, and I can't stand her. Like I can't stand the character, and yet this book completely wins me over every time I read it because it's just like, look, man, she's just sleeping. She's in her. She's done her dominatrix stuff for the day. She needs her downtime, and she gets attacked in the middle of the night and by someone who can't even remember the name of the person she's trying to avenge. Like I think it's a bit of a comedy for Celine, and then she's being like squeezed to death by this giant flaming fist. And I personally just want to see the things that happen to her while she's watching them argue and sees Wolverine stab her. If she just sitting there like going like, oh, I get in the middle of a lover's spat or something. I don't know. So this, yeah, Celine all the way for me.
Nice.
Well, let's get into the numbers here. There are 2 9.9s on the census, Matt. So I think you got to get on that.
I might have a limit. 9.8 is
it's
quite
probably
fine.
Chet. It's probably Chet who has it. Just talk.
He's got both. He's got both of them.
Look, yeah.
Last sold in 2025. So just this last November. For
Somebody
5,
got it for Christmas.
Yeah. There's 431 9/8s, 352 9/6s. Fair market value for a 9/8 goes around 130, but there are a lot, as I was learning for Matt last summer, there's a lot of different, like obviously you got newsstand and direct, but there's also like Mark Jeweler variants for this. There's a Pence variant, I believe, for this.
Yep. Canadian price variant.
So there are some other ones that would elevate or lower the value of the book depending on how rare they are.
I've even got a Danish variant up here. There's a German variant over here, and
but yeah, any thoughts here on the numbers or the key elements? Obviously, daddy issues getting passed along here a little bit.
Yeah, great key elements. I mean, yeah, man. I think I will buy this cover. I will buy this book every time I see it now. After I, reading through here, and of course, all to ship to Matt, obviously.
Well done. Of course, that's what you need for sure.
And dude, $130 for a 9/8, I think absolutely. This is by far the best cover we've had in a long time, And
I got
those
way
other
I got
ones were
way
some
under
good
that.
prices.
I got way under that for the one I got from Matt.
Did you?
not
Good
to
for
brag.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Like that's cheap. That's dirt cheap for that. And again,
sure.
I'd love the raw copies for sure. And you saw my copy was $2 from Zap Comics. That they're out there, so you can get
Yep.
both
You
ends
mean
of the spectrum.
my copy from
Matt's
Zach?
copy it was $2. Matt's copy.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got so this reader one that I've been holding over here as we went through this. I got this for $10, and it's signed by JR.
Oh, damn.
no way. Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, the guy didn't know what he had. I mean, it's beat up. It's definitely a
Did he
reader
did
kind
he
of thing,
sign
but
it in
it's
the
well
blue?
loved.
Did he
It's well
sign it
loved,
down
man.
below in the yeah? There's that great
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
space for signatures
Oh, yeah,
there.
that's a perfect spot. Yeah, wow.
It's a great spot. Yeah.
Nice.
And so I don't know what he changes, but sometimes he'll sign the JR and put a square around it. And then when I got it signed from Heroes Con, he signed his full name in that blue area. So I don't know.
He's like the
if
Todd
it's how
father
he
that
feels
way.
at the
Like
moment.
sometimes you get the full Todd, other times you don't, right?
Yep, that's true. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cheap. It makes me happy. I like having raw ones that I can hold in my hand just as well as I do,
sure.
a graded one too. So, but at the same time, I don't remember how many I have sitting at CGC right now getting graded. So
this is a very rare combination of like perfect cover and perfect interior reading. Like, like we haven't had, I mean, the burn stuff and all that probably are the last time where we really had a consistent of that. So it's nice to come back to, we're hitting 207 now and we're hitting another one that's just like perfect on both inside and outside.
Just like JP was beating the drum years ago for the issue that he was going to do and telling y'all what he was going to do, this was the one that I had told you guys, 207. I'm in. I don't care how long we have to wait. 207 is mine.
Well, I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it timed out the right way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, then let's close that down and check in on the chat. Lasso is still talking about Wonder Woman. We're gonna get rid of that comment. Jackson Roy Kirk says the poor Imp Morlock who had their room trashed by Rachel gets a little MVP
That's
love.
a good
I can
point.
get that. That's very fair. Let's see. JR puts himself in a box, says Matt. Okay. Nobody puts John Romita Jr. in a box. I mean, I've read some books of his that I would put in a box. But don't go away, people. We are to the trivia portion. The end of the show is nigh. We are here to basically give away some spots on the prize wheel that we will be sharing in middle of June. So the way that works is we're going to ask 4 trivia questions, 2 apiece. They have to do with last issue 206 that we did over on Justin's channel. And we are looking for 2 correct answers. So you can copy and paste if you see somebody that gets it right. And we're looking for Matt's favorite answer, something that makes him laugh or something that he thinks is a worthy wrong answer. So we'll give away 3 raffle ticket entries for every question. And Justin's going to kick it off here.
Yeah. First question is, where did David Ishima take Kitty Pryde for the evening? There was kind of a little friendly date that had gone, that had taken place towards the beginning of the issue. And we met David Ishima. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Who had decided to take Kitty Pryde somewhere for the evening. Where did they go? It's a good layout too. Good layout.
As a reminder, we're giving away an original sketched cover by the Frame Brothers, and their link is down below. But there'll also be another mystery box that I'll be preparing. I know that we've got several community members who've mentioned when they joined us that they have prizes that they'd like to give away. I think there's a Funko. I think that there's a slab or a book, hardcover. So lots of goodies coming along for our big giveaway show. So be prepared for that.
Yeah, this has been frustrating for me because life has been the way that it has. I haven't been able to be here to get my points on that list. I've been shut out for several weeks.
All it takes is one. All it takes is one, Matt.
I still think you're holding 3rd place pretty tightly.
I was hoping I was still at least in the top 5 over the last.
Yeah, you're just a little behind Adam, and obviously Magic Lasso is running away with it at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Bobby says they went to Dave and Buster's. That's where they went.
Dave and Buster's. Good times.
Or maybe they went to Chili's to get that baby back ribs.
Chili's. Baby back ribs.
Candace says Chuck E. Cheese. Everybody likes Chuck E. Cheese.
Nice.
Oops, sorry, I missed it. Adam says the Kitty Cafe. All right.
I like it.
To Paradise if you listen to Kitty. Oh my. They went to Cruffins to stack blackberries. I don't know what it means, but my dad used to say it anytime he asked where they were going. Okay, to Cruffins to stack blueberries. All right, or blackberries. Okay. Yes, Bobby, that is the correct answer. He copied and pasted Magic Lassos. So there you go. Smart thing to do. Just copy Magic Lasso, and you're probably on the right track. So Bobby gets an extra point for being right for copying.
I was hoping we were going to get a Sam Guthrie appearance when we saw that little bit, just like a little glimpse of them at the concert, and Sam's in the background. He's in the MVP area because this is great.
Right. I mean, if you look at the outfits they're wearing, I don't know that the Sam Guthrie concert would fit for their costuming, but let that go. They went to Storm's attic. There you go. So any favorites on there, Matt? Anybody that deserves a point?
I'm gonna go with Adam with the Kitty Cafe.
Nice.
You're giving your opponent points.
That's all right.
I think that Bobby just said 6-7.
Yep, he did. I wasn't going to click on it.
Boggy.
I don't want to start anything. My first question has to do with the way the issue began. We bump into Storm at the beginning of the comic, and what is she doing? What is Storm doing at the beginning of issue 206? As a reminder, you want to, if you missed it, I've been really enjoying, even though I'm a music moron, I've been enjoying Justin's live streams with Noah and our buddy John. So if you've missed some of those, I definitely would definitely recommend checking them out. This is the first time I've legitimately blew it and did not listen to the album beforehand, but they're a whole lot of fun, and I enjoy expanding my knowledge of music.
They've been a good time, and appreciate you chiming in and giving it a go. That's all you can do.
I'm trying. I need a little bit. I need help, a lot of help. Bobby says I'd bump into Storm anywhere. I mean, that's fair. She was wearing very little clothing. I mean, that's a good way to start a book. That's a good way to start a comic. She was in limbo. How low can you go?
Love that place.
She was doing the dance with no pants. That's a good one. She was storming the city. I see what you did there, Adam. I see what you did there. Yet again, we got a correct answer. Nobody's copying and pasting it. I'm just saying, whatever. On the dance floor. She was on the dance floor. She likes to boogie. She's got moves. Let's see if somebody else gets it. I'm going to click on the correct answer. She was.
I was going to say, I know what I'd be putting in right now if I were
whatever lasso types. Yeah. Yeah. She was in the alleyway, basically threatening bad guys. That's what she was doing. Standing in an alley. I'll give it to Colossus Collector. Does he have any points yet? Perfect. He gets his first.
Get him in there.
First win of the season.
There we go.
Ryan.
On the board. All it takes is one. We've seen that.
Just one. There it is. She was questioning the bad guys, right? Hashtag copy Chet, but Chet's not here. He's hiding, or if he is, he's hiding out. He was lurking.
I would say he was here earlier.
Yeah, he was here early, but
yeah. Any Matt, any comedy answers you like?
I'm gonna go with the dad joke, and it's gonna go to Adam again. Dang, it's gonna be killing me. Yeah, storming the city.
Adam knows who he's playing to.
He's I'm gonna keep falling to further into third.
We ask ourselves that a lot, John. We don't know. He comes and goes. He's like the kitty. He just phases through the walls. Justin, what is your second question?
Yeah. So in last issue, there was a scene where Rachel was using her telekinetic powers to carry dishes across the kitchen. The question is, what were Rogue and Colossus talking about that made Rachel shatter those dishes? She was trying to be fancy. Rogue's like, be careful, don't break those things. And then she went on about a conversation. Rachel wasn't having it and shattered the dishes. What were Rogue and Colossus talking about during that?
To be fair, if I heard this as well, I'd probably drop the dishes. So, it would probably make me, I would react similarly. I'm gonna give the correct answer there to the first two there, Magic Lasso and Candace. Yeah, talking about her dad Scott going specifically going to visit, right? But
yeah.
And then Candace would get the other one. All right,
I'll get All
right, Lasso coming in strong. Who would win in an arm wrestling contest? That's what they're arguing about. That's for sure.
I like that.
Colossus would. Yeah, I mean, in this group, yeah, there's no competition.
But wait, if Rogue takes Colossus's power, would she be able to beat him?
Well, she's also got Carol Danvers' strength. I mean, I don't think it's like an unfair.
But if Colossus is armored up, can she take his power?
So many questions.
Deep thought. What is real? What is real?
They were talking about how the dishwasher is broken. The price of gas. Scott and Maddie's honeymoon photos. That is a great throwback.
Who took the picture?
We still don't know. Photographs arrived for Xavier from Scott on his wedding, and we still don't know who took the pictures. It was very
Who's
awkward.
the third person?
They were talking about the fact that Scott still hasn't held his son. Yes.
Yes.
It's still, as far as we know, have not seen proof yet. No photos of that. They were talking about Diana Ross, like always. All right, Matt. Any best answers there?
Can I cheat and give two?
Do it,
because I want to cheat. Colossus needs another point, so give him a point for the arm wrestling. And it's going to be a 3-peat for Adam. That was the biggest laugh. Yep.
Yeah, it's a great one.
that is a great throwback comment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great job tonight, Adam. Good job.
Yeah, he's on a roll. Let's see if he can go 4 for 4, because the last question's up. We're talking about Rogue in the issue battles with Spiral. What unusual thing happens to Rogue's body when she touches Spiral? When she grabs a hold of Spiral, something strange happens to Rogue's body.
Awkward.
It's like a mutant STD. Yeah, Adam is on fire, right? For sure, Candace. I agree. There it is. 2 correct answers. Yep. She grows extra arms. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how those arms have sleeves. We'll deal with that another time. But she does grow extra arms. And Bobby, you are correct as well. Lots of questions.
Because comic books.
It's the same reason why the Hulk's pants never rip. Rogue's body turns black. She does actually get darker. That is true, Matt. Adam's not wrong. She gets nuts. She goes nuts.
It's true.
It's fair.
Kind of true.
Also true. She starts talking in tongues. Bobby's pushing. He's going for it. Her stripe gets bigger. The skunk stripe grows. Yes. It goes straight to the thighs, like cheesecake. I get it. She starts moonwalking and grabbing her crotch.
Classic move.
There's some good 80s glory there as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. She died in her arms. Must have been something she said.
A great line.
Just died in her arms tonight.
There we go. That's our winner.
All right.
Yeah.
Oop, sorry, my phone buzzed there. Is that the answer? Colossus Collector comes out with one?
Yep. That's the winner.
Nice.
All right. Ryan is like glad he showed up. Three entries on the wheel now. Congrats, Ryan. Huge thank you, Matt, for spending the evening with us talking about this comic. You're such a great supporter. You do such great content, and you're like presser extraordinaire as well in the community. So thank you for taking some time away from all that to talk about funny books with us.
I appreciate you having me. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and look forward to every Tuesday. It's been killing me to not be able to watch live, and the replays are great, but it's not the same. Can't quite get what you're thinking and all the funny stuff that you want to throw in the chat. So.
It's harder to troll that way. Yeah,
it's a lot harder. Who reads the comments on a video? Right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's fun to be in the chat. We've got such great homies that hang out with us, and you are obviously one of the champions in that group. So we appreciate that in a big way, man.
We appreciate you guys. Thanks for doing this every week.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're coming down to it, gang. We're here. We're nearing the finish line. There are going to be some gaps in scheduling that come along because we got some bigger chunks to be reading here. But we are back on Justin's channel for 208 next week. Before long, though, we're going to be hitting that Longshot 6-issue miniseries in 2 chunks. And then we're going to do a giant X Factor night. I'm only mentioning this stuff because if you're reading along and you need to space things out, it's almost 10 X Factor issues that we're going to be discussing, something in that neighborhood, because it's basically only really in the omnibus I'm reading from. It's the first 8 issues of the run, plus the annual, plus the They Found Phoenix in a Cocoon issues of FF and Avengers. So there's a whole like bundle of Phoenix and X Factor related issues that are in my omnibus. So we're gonna get Justin his X Factor inoculation right off the bat here and give him a dive into that. So if you're trying to keep up with us, there's just some things that you want to make sure you're reading. We'll have some breaks, and we will remind you when it's like, oh, we're gone for a couple of weeks. Here's a chance to read some of those books in bulk. But huge thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us. Congrats to everybody who got on the wheel, and we will see you guys again next week.
Sweet.
Peace.
Later.